Yes, there's a lot of unusual activity on the sun. Most strange.
Wow, I've never known it so hot.
The Moon Observatory is calling you, Colonel.
Put them on, Marla.
There's been an enormous explosion on the sun.
So that's why we're having a heat wave.
Yes, it's already caused a heat increase of 20 degrees, and it's still going up.
There's nothing I can do about it.
I'm not so sure. There's something very odd about this explosion.
You mean it might not be due to natural causes?
Yes.
I see. Well, keep a close watch on the sun, and let me know if anything else happens. Did you hear that, Marla?
Yes, Colonel. It is most perturbing. 20 extra degrees of heat has made it very warm here, but on my planet Venus, it must be unbearably hot.
Oceans boiling, crops burning, and by people dying of heat stroke. Yes, Dara?
Ganymede is calling you on the sonar beam, Excellency.
Ganymede. Isn't that one of the satellites of Jupiter?
Yes, it is used as a research center for space medicine.
I will speak to them.
I'm Dr. Duncan, the new director of Ganymede.
The director of Ganymede is a Venusian.
Not anymore. The colonists have appointed me their leader, and we want Venus and Earth to help us lead a more comfortable life.
It is expensive to ship luxury articles to Ganymede. Excuse me. It is so hot here. I can hardly think.
If you don't agree to send us what we want, you'll find it getting hotter.
What do you mean?
Do you know what beryllium is, Mr. President?
Certainly, it is a metal, but I don't see it.
I sent a freighter full of beryllium into the sun, and it caused a nuclear explosion which made your heat wave. Now, if you don't give us what we want, we'll make another explosion on the sun.
This is blackmail.
That's right, Mr. President. Think it over, and I'll be in touch with you again.
What a disaster! Earth and Venus at the mercy of a mad scientist.
This heat is awful.
The air conditioning can't cope with the extra heat. And it's getting hotter, Pop.
Well, Colonel, and what brings you here in person? And don't call me Pop.
Do you know a scientist called Duncan?
He used to work for me, but I fired him.
Why?
He tried to steal an invention of mine. What's he been up to now?
He's taken command of Ganymede, and he fired a freighter of beryllium into the sun.
So that's what's caused the explosion.
Yes, and he'll explode another load of beryllium unless we give him building materials and military weapons. He's planning to make himself dictator of the galaxy.
What will he do?
Send a united galactic force to arrest him.
Ha! He won't let himself be arrested so easily.
The duty officer wishes to see Colonel Rayburn.
All right, Marla. Tell him I'm on my way.
A convoy of 40 space freighters on his way to Pluto has been forced to land on Ganymede.
Didn't they put up a fight?
It was a robot convoy, sir, with an automatic control on the leading freighter.
What was the convoy carrying?
Beryllium.
Do you mean Duncan's captured 40 freighters of beryllium? That means he can cause 40 more explosions on the sun. This is terrible.
Heavens above, another explosion, and what a size!
Say, Duncan, what do you think's happening on Earth?
They're boiling to death.
They'll be crazy if they don't give us what we want. This is it. Space headquarters on Earth are calling you.
Well, Colonel Rayburn in person. I take it you are going to send me what I want.
Not until you return the freighters you stole.
You're in no position to give me orders, Colonel. I've 39 beryllium freighters left, and if I explode 2 a week on the sun, Earth and Venus will be destroyed.
You wouldn't dare.
Yes, I would. So make up your mind fast.
Give me a few hours to think it over.
Don't make it any longer.
I'd like to get my hands on that Duncan.
Would it not be possible for people to build subterranean homes and deep water reservoirs?
It would take too long, and we'd die of heat before we got everything ready. You'd better ask General Smith to come and see me.
I have already anticipated your wish. The general is on his way over.
You think of everything, Marla.
On Venus, there is no such thing as a dumb blonde.
General, I'm hoping you can find a way of stopping Duncan's scheme.
Well, we're about 1,000 troops flying to Ganymede to arrest him.
If he sees troop ships, he'll send another load of beryllium into the sun at once.
Then let's blast him out of the skies with nuclear rockets.
That'll mean destroying the colonists on Ganymede.
The colonists are as guilty as he is.
You're right, of course. How soon can you fire the rockets?
Immediately.
Give the order, General.
Marla, can I have rocket bases 1 to 6?
With alacrity, General. Calling rocket bases 1 to 6. Stand by, please. The bases are waiting, sir.
General Smith here. This is an action call. Prepare for immediate blastoff. Target area Ganymede. Keep the video screen on, Colonel. They'll be blasting in a few seconds. That was Siberia. Rockets on base 1 have been fired. Nevada base has just been launched.
Good. Duncan will soon be having a most unpleasant surprise.
I'll tell him at once. Earth has fired rockets at us. The wireless room have plotted their path on a sonar beam.
Rayburn's going to get a nasty shock when he learns we've got rocket interceptors. Order them to be fired.
Fire interceptor missiles immediately.
Turn on the scanner.
Grave news, Colonel. Duncan's intercepted all our rockets.
So, Professor Haggerty was right. I have been underestimating Duncan. There's only one thing left to do.
I wish I was home on Mars. This heat is fantasticatious.
Will Captain Dart report to Colonel Rayburn?
Coming, Marla.
A mission at last. I hope it's to Pluto. Then we can cool off.
I'm sending you to Ganymede, Dart. We must try and bargain with Duncan.
Well, surely that's a job for a diplomat.
A diplomat can't do what I want you to do. Try and come to terms with him. But keep your eyes open and see if you can find out anything about those beryllium freighters.
You want us to try and sabotage them?
If you can.
I'll do my best, sir. I'll prepare for takeoff at once.
Orbital speed 0 to 20,000 miles an hour.
Speed maintained.
Scanner viewer working.
Check.
Astro beam working.
Check.
Gamma rays on. Yoba rays on. All in order, Captain. I'm ready.
Ready for final check.
All in order. Ready to lift.
Takeoff program starting now.
Well, Duncan, you've won. Galosphere 347 is on its way to Ganymede. And Captain Larry Dart has my authority to sign a peace treaty with you.
You're a sensible man, Colonel.
We've sighted Galosphere 347.
When they arrive, keep close watch on them. I don't trust Rayburn or his space patrolman.
Ganymede is ahead, Captain.
I'm switching to robot control. Listen carefully, Slim. While Husky and I talk to Duncan, you scout around and see what you can find out.
Can't I look around too?
No, Slim's small and might not be noticed.
So you're Rayburn's spokesman.
Yes, and as soon as you return the freighters of beryllium, we'll let you have everything you want.
You'll send me everything before I return the freighters.
We better see what's going on inside.
Sleep well, my friend.
Very well, I agree to your terms. First, we'll send you what you want, and then you'll return the freighters of beryllium to us.
But, Captain, once he's got what he wants, he'll...
Look, we've no choice, Husky. Dr. Duncan holds all the cards.
You're a wise man, Captain Dart.
This uniform is most uncomfortable. I am being signaled. Let us hope there is no password. Yes?
Jackson, get on your hoverjet and go and guard the beryllium freighters.
Which one?
The leader freighter is the only one fitted with robot control.
How will I recognize it?
It's painted in stripes. Take your hoverjet and go at once.
This robot control has the same mechanism as the Galosphere. If I can get it working again, I can send the freighters back to Earth. Ah, good. I'll set it to take off in 10 minutes' time. I'd better jam the controls, too. Then Duncan won't be able to guide the freighters back here again. There we are. Now I must warn Dart and Husky to leave.
Funny. Jackson didn't know what the leader freighter looked like. I'd better send another guard to make sure everything's all right. A Venusian spy has been captured in the control freighter.
You double-crossing...
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the alarm. What's wrong?
The freighters have taken off and are heading towards Earth.
Use the robot control to turn them back.
The robot control has been jammed into position. We can't make them alter their course.
Get Rayburn on the sonar beam. I'll show your colonel what I think of his trickery.
What do you want, Duncan?
One of your spies has set the freighters free, but if they aren't returned, Dart and his men will die. I'll give you a couple of hours to make up your mind. Just thinking of Duncan makes me blood boil.
Mine too. But we daren't send back those freighters. I'd hate to lose Dart and his crew, but it's their lives against the whole of Earth and Venus.
I'm not sure we can't send those freighters back to Duncan.
What do you mean?
There's a little invention I've been working on. It's a machine that automatically blows up when it reaches 2 million miles an hour. Now, if we fix this machine to each freighter, they'd explode as soon as they reach that speed.
Freighters can't travel at 2 million miles an hour.
They do when they're falling into the sun. Gravity sees to that. In fact, they'd reach that speed and blow up long before they came anywhere near the sun.
I see. So, if Duncan tried to make any more explosions... How do you make these machines of yours, Professor?
A dab of plastifoam and a pinch of explosive. Its secret lies in the way you place it in the control panel.
Well, every Galosphere carries a supply of plastifoam and explosive. Marla, is there a Galosphere in space that's near the freighters?
103 is an hour's flight past Ganymede.
Well, Professor, I'll do as you suggest. I'll tell Duncan I'm returning the freighters, But he knows that before I can do so, one of my gallopspheres must intercept the convoy and reset the automatic pilot.
Duncan will be watching on his scanner. He'll smell a rat if he sees patrolmen boarding every single freighter.
I'm hoping that when he sees only one gallopsphere, he'll stop watching.
I will dispatch a code message to Gallopsphere 103 telling them what to do. Will you give me the correct instructions, Professor?
Indeed I will.
The 2 hours Duncan allowed me are up. I'd better call him.
Well, Rayburn, what's your answer?
If you agree to set Dart and his crew free, I'll send the freighters back.
They'll be free the moment the freighters reach Ganymede.
Good. Now, the automatic pilot on the leader freighter is set for Earth and will have to be altered. A gallopsphere is on its way to do it.
If I see anything suspicious, I'll kill Dart and his men immediately. So don't try and hide troops in the freighters.
I'm just sending one gallopsphere, Duncan.
I thought you might like to know that Rayburn's agreed to my terms.
He hasn't.
Yes, Larry Dart, he has.
Gallopsphere 103 has received the message, Colonel, and will intercept the freighters immediately.
Good.
Can you see anything?
A gallopsphere is approaching the freighters now.
Is there only one gallopsphere?
Yes.
It's lucky for you Rayburn's kept his word.
Dr. Duncan is calling you, Colonel.
Put him through.
The freighters have just landed here.
When are you going to set Dart free?
As soon as I've inspected the freighters and made sure they've not been tampered with.
Suppose he finds those machines of yours.
Even if he did find them, he wouldn't know what they were. He'd think they were part of the mechanism.
For all our sakes, I hope you're right.
Can you see anything suspicious?
No. Everything seems in order.
What about the other freighters?
They're all right, too. My men have looked at them very carefully.
I can't understand Rayburn sending back those freighters.
Neither can I.
Even if Duncan lets us go, he'll still make bigger demands on Earth and Venus.
Dr. Duncan has told me to set you free.
You mean we can leave?
Yes.
I can hardly believe we're free.
I wish we weren't. I hate to think of those freighters back again on Ganymede.
Gallopsphere 347 is on its way back to Earth.
Put Dart on the screen, will you, Marla?
He declines to speak to you and has proceeded immediately into the freezer.
That means he's angry with me for saving his life. Never mind. I'll talk to Duncan instead.
Do you mean you refuse to send me the supplies I asked for?
I'm not sending you anything.
Very well. I'll make such an explosion of the sun that Earth and Venus will be reduced to gas.
Try it, and see what happens to you.
Are the freighters ready for takeoff?
Yes.
Set them towards the sun.
How many?
All of them.
All of them?
Every single one.
This is it, Professor. Duncan has sent all the beryllium freighters into the sun. I only hope those explosive machines of yours work.
I'm sure they will. Once the freighters reach 2 million miles an hour, they'll explode.
If they don't, and they hit the sun instead, we'll all boil to death.
Where are the freighters now?
Approaching the sun.
A few hours and Earth and Venus will be finished. Then I'll take over the leadership of the galaxy.
Won't you sit down, Colonel?
I'm too nervous.
According to my calculations, the freighter should explode in 10 seconds.
Let's watch.
5 seconds to go.
Why don't they explode?
They have! Where are you going?
To my office. I can't wait to call Duncan.
It's not possible.
What are you muttering about?
The freighters are blowing up before they reach the sun.
What?
It's true.
Well, Duncan, what does it feel like to know you've failed?
You'll never get me, Rayburn. If you send troops, I'll blow up their ships.
If you do, we'll destroy Ganymede completely.
No one's going to arrest me. I'll make for Neptune and...
Oh, no, you won't. If we stand trial, so will you. Don't move. This is Ganymede calling Colonel Rayburn.
A message from General Smith. A united galactic force is on its way to arrest Duncan.
Excellent.
May I suggest you call Captain Dart and inform him of your success?
A good idea.
Must be an emergency. We're still 20 days' flight from Earth. I'll see what's wrong.
I hope it isn't serious.
The freighters have exploded before they reached the sun.
So Rayburn did think of something.
It was an idea of Professor Haggerty's.
He always has ideas, I am glad to say.
You said a mouthful there, Slim.
And talking of mouthfuls...
I'm hungry.